everybody, this is Sharon Oren here from Maccabee Arms in Reno, Nevada, and today we're going to tackle the big question about assault weapons. We keep on hearing the word assault weapons, but the problem is that by mass media and everybody else, I would say a bit misusing the term. So first of all, weapon. Everything you see over here, these aren't weapons, these are firearms, okay? Because a weapon is something that can use to cause harm. Therefore, if I, for example, will take this magazine, it's not a clip, it's a magazine, and hold it like this, and I'm going to hit you in your head. This magazine becomes what? An assault weapon. If I'm going to take this knife that I don't have on me right now, but if I'm going to take, for example, let's find something that can use this thing over here, hold it in my hand and stab you in the eye. This thing becomes an assault weapon. If I take a pen and stab you with a pen, it is an assault weapon. So an assault weapon by definition, if we're going to Google it up, we're going to find out that an assault weapon is a firearm capable of shooting more than one round with each pull of the trigger, therefore a fully automatic machine gun. So what is the difference between a machine gun and a semi-automatic sporting rifles, which is the right terminology to use to all of those? So everything you see over here on the wall are semi-automatic sporting rifles. They look like the real deal. They look like a duck. They quack like a duck, but they're not a duck. A semi-automatic firearm, for example, you can take this part over here. This is an FN M4, which is exactly what is being issued to the US military right now. As you can see, this is your safety and your selector switch. It will only stop at the semi. It will not go to the auto setting because it is blocked. It is not made for it, which is by law is a semi-automatic sporting rifle. On the other end, I can take this guy over here, and if you look over here, I can turn it to the fire position, and it has an extra position, goes to fully automatic. This firearm is a fully automatic machine gun. They both look exactly the same, but they are not built the same. Now, can I as a civilian own an assault weapon? The answer is, depending on the state in which you live in. In Nevada, a civilian can own an assault weapon, but here's how it's done. The firearm has to be a pre-1986 production, registered as a fully automatic machine gun. Therefore, it has to be like an old M16. Now I'll give you an example. An AR, which doesn't stand for assault rifle, it stands for Armalite, which is the original design of that firearm, another misuse of the term. Okay, so an AR on average costs anywhere from $600 to $3,000 for really high-end Gucci stuff. An M16 registered pre-86 machine gun will cost you on average $25,000. Okay, now what I would like everybody to do is to go and Google when was the last time a registered assault machine gun was used in a crime in the United States. And you'll have a surprise. Since 1934, when the NFA Act came into effect, which basically says in order to own a machine gun, you have to pay a $200 tax stamp to the Treasury in order to own a machine gun. Beforehand, you can go into Walgreens and buy a Tommy gun, which is what all the gangsters used to do. They will go into Walgreens and buy a Tommy gun, and they will outpower the law enforcement guys, the cops. So then they came up with this because a $200 bond back in 1934 was equivalent to probably about $10,000 in today's money. So most of them could not afford to do that. And that's where the NFA Firearm Act came to law. So then, in 1986, basically Reagan came out, I believe, and basically they did the registry of the machine guns. So that in order for you to own a machine gun, it has to be manufactured prior to 1986 and registered. Let's take another example. Over here we got these two guys. These two guys are Israeli military industry Uzis. So this guy over here is a semi-automatic IMI Uzi. It's a collector's gun. They don't make them anymore. Kind of hard to come by. But even this being a collector's gun, usually we'll buy them for about $1,500 to about $3,000 for this one has, two caliber exchange kits and everything else. This guy over here is a registered machine gun. Again, look the same, but here's the difference. As you can see, it has a selector switch for safe, fully automatic, and semi-automatic. Okay? The other difference is this one is an open bolt mechanism. When I wreck the slide, you can see the bolt goes to the back. If I will pull the trigger, let's take it off the safety, it will start shooting in fully automatic. The semi-automatic sporting version, as you can see, is not an open bolt. When I wreck the slide, it keeps on going backward. It's a semi-automatic. The semi-automatic version will move as fast as my finger will move, versus the full automatic, which my finger compresses the trigger and holds it to compress, and it will keep on cycling until we run out of bullets. Okay? So, once again, we have to start by having the discussion about the truth. And the truth of the matter is, no crime has been committed with a registered, licensed, fully automatic machine gun in the United States since the 1930s. So why do we keep on going back and trying to ban all of those guys? Which basically, if you think about it, for those of you who've been around in the 90s, Pontiac used to make the Pontiac Fieros with the Ferrari body kit. So you'll drive a Pontiac Fiero, but it will look like a Ferrari F40. It will still be a Pontiac. Same thing over here. It looks like it is an M4 or an M16, but it is an AR-15. And again, the AR does not stand for assault rifle or an automatic rifle. It stands for Armalite, which was the original design of the production firearm. So this will be today's class about machine guns, assault rifles, and semi-automatic sporting rifles, which is what we have over here. Hopefully by education we can be better between ourselves, whether you're on the left, whether you're on the right, whether you know, whether you don't. But at least we can have a discussion, and an open discussion with a bit more knowledge and facts. Thank you for joining us today. Sharon Oren, Maccabee Arms, Reno, Nevada.